Ready to time travel. Today we're heading back to ancient Egypt. But, not the Egypt you learned about in school.
No time machines necessary, though I wouldn't mind a quick trip to see the pyramids.
This is going to be a mind-bending deep dive. We're asking, what if artificial intelligence existed in ancient Egypt?
Buckle up. We'll be exploring an episode from the Voices of Tomorrow podcast that tackles this very question.
They really go all in, envisioning how AI could have reshaped one of history's most influential civilizations.
Yeah, it's not just a little tweak here and there. This is AI touching everything, from their grand monuments to their entire worldview.
Like their cities. Imagine ancient Thebes, already this bustling hub, right? Now add AI-powered drones zipping around, optimizing the construction of their massive temples.
It makes you look at their engineering in a whole new light. Even without AI, the Egyptians were incredible. Their grasp of geometry, astronomy, their structural designs, all to create wonders like the pyramids.
It's mind-boggling.
Now, toss AI into the mix. Give them simulations to test structural loads, weather impacts, how the sun's going to hit the structure.
Okay, hold on. You're saying they could have built the pyramids even faster? Like, were they already using some kind of proto-AI, given how complex those pyramids are?
It's a fascinating thought, isn't it? I mean, what if instead of years of trial and error, they had AI running through possibilities, different techniques, testing out materials, virtually building and rebuilding?
And think about the pyramid's alignment with the stars. Could AI have gotten them that level of accuracy, but even quicker?
It's possible.
I can just picture it. An Egyptian architect presenting plans to the pharaoh, all backed by data straight from an AI. Your Majesty, the AI confirms this pyramid can handle centuries of desert winds and will perfectly align with Sirius at the solstice.
Exactly. And it's not just construction that would change. Think about their data.
Yeah.
Everything meticulously documented on papyrus scrolls. Nile floods, crop cycles.
Oh, I see where you're going. Instead of scribes spending years deciphering those scrolls to predict the next Nile flood, you'd have AI crunching those numbers.
Time series forecasting, identifying trends and potential anomalies in the data.
So they'd have these sophisticated models for predicting crop yields, managing irrigation, even anticipating potential famines.
That frees up their best minds for other breakthroughs.
Speaking of bright minds, the podcast introduces this wild concept, Raybot, an AI advisor for the pharaoh.
Oh yeah, Raybot.
So, the pharaoh's thinking about an alliance, right? Say with Nubia. Instead of just human advisors, he's got Raybot chiming in. This AI has analyzed trade routes, troop movements, past diplomatic dealings.
Wow.
I can almost hear Raybot's synthesized voice booming. Based on current trends, Your Majesty, an alliance with Nubia is not statistically favorable at this time.
Wouldn't this be kind of controversial? A pharaoh getting big decisions from an AI? Would the priests, with all their power from interpreting omens and rituals, just go along with this tech takeover? Right, that's the big question. Would a pharaoh relying on AI still be seen as a god king? A divine ruler whose every decision is guided by the gods?
Makes you think about the power struggles that might have happened. Priests battling with this AI advisor, each trying to sway the pharaoh. It'd be like a game of technological chess with the fate of the kingdom at stake.
Okay, so the pharaoh's got Raybot whispering in his ear, but what about everyone else? Would everyday Egyptians even know AI was a thing?
I think it's safe to say AI wouldn't be limited to just the pharaoh.
Right.
The Voices of Tomorrow episode suggested to be woven into, every part of their lives. Think about agriculture, for example. Imagine farmers using AI tools to analyze soil, figure out the best time to plant, maybe even detect pests or diseases early on.
So instead of relying on tradition, passed down knowledge, they'd have this AI assistant giving them data-driven tips. Yeah, like an agricultural oracle in their pocket, analyzing real-time data, helping them maximize their harvests. And then there's the merchants, those guys traveling the desert trade routes. What if they had AI-powered navigation, optimizing routes based on weather, terrain, even avoiding bandits?
Huge step up from following the stars and hoping for the best.
Right.
But what about the scribes? Those hieroglyphs weren't exactly a walk in the park to learn.
Oh, absolutely. The podcast talks about scribes using AI for, predictive text. Imagine an ancient Egyptian version of autocorrect.
No more years of memorizing thousands of hieroglyphs. They could focus on the actual meaning, the storytelling. But wouldn't that change their culture?
Oh, for sure. It raises so many questions. Would hieroglyphs evolve, become simpler, more efficient? Would literacy rates explode, giving more people access to knowledge and power?
It's like opening this Pandora's box of possibilities.
Exactly.
And what about religion? The podcast dives into how AI might have been used in their temples, their rituals.
Yeah, they paint this picture of temples coming alive with AI, sound systems creating these immersive soundscapes for ceremonies, or
Ah.
priestesses using virtual simulations to visualize the afterlife.
That's kind of creepy, but also fascinating. It's like AI blurring the line between the physical and spiritual worlds. But would they have even accepted AI in their temples? Or would they see it as a threat to their beliefs?
That's the key question. And the podcast doesn't just focus on the good stuff. They also get into the potential downsides, the darker side of AI in ancient Egypt.
Yeah, the second half of the episode definitely takes a darker turn. All that talk about surveillance and control.
Right. It's like the all-seeing eye of Horus, but instead of a symbol, it's AI cameras everywhere.
Big Brother's got nothing on an AI-powered pharaoh.
Imagine the pharaoh using AI to analyze conversations, spot anyone questioning him, maybe even predict rebellions before they happen.
That's chilling. But even if it mostly works for good, what if it messes up? Like an AI misinterprets data about the Nile flood?
Oh, yeah,
That could be disastrous for the whole kingdom.
totally. The podcast really highlights the danger of putting blind faith in any system, even one as advanced as AI. Technology can be a double-edged sword, capable of great good, but also capable of causing real harm.
It's almost like this whole what if scenario has two sides. On one hand, you've got AI potentially speeding up scientific progress, boosting agriculture, maybe even deepening their spiritual understanding. But then there's the flip side. Mass surveillance, AI making huge mistakes, traditional beliefs getting tossed aside.
It really makes you think. The Voices of Tomorrow episode doesn't try to tell you what's right or wrong. It leaves you with these big questions about technology and civilization.
Right.
Would AI have just amplified how amazing ancient Egypt was? Or would it have stripped away its soul? Could they have held on to their spirituality while embracing the logic of AI?
I wonder if they might have even seen AI differently than we do. They already saw the divine in nature and the stars and the cycles of life and death.
Yeah.
Maybe AI, with its ability to analyze those things and make predictions, would have been seen as another part of that cosmic order.
It's an interesting thought. What if they didn't see it as some cold machine, but as a tool for understanding the universe?
Right?
They might have even used AI to boost their astronomy, create more complex calendars, align their temples even more precisely.
So instead of replacing the priests, AI becomes their ultimate research assistant, helping them unlock secrets of the cosmos.
Exactly. And maybe that leads to new forms of art, architecture, storytelling. Imagine AI-generated hieroglyphic murals showing the connection between nature and the algorithms that govern it all.
Okay, now that's a cool image. It's like AI becomes this bridge between humans and the divine, a way for the Egyptians to express their spirituality in ways we can't even imagine. But it brings us back to today, doesn't it? We're facing our own choices about how AI will shape our world.
Just like those ancient Egyptians, we're at a crossroads. Will AI be this force for creativity, for connection? Will it help us understand things better? Or will we let it chip away at our values, control our lives, hold us back?
The Voices of Tomorrow episode ends with a question, and I think it's the perfect one for us to consider, too.
Yeah.
They ask, what era do you think would have been most changed by AI?
Wow.
It's a question that goes way beyond just ancient Egypt. What about the Roman Empire? Would AI have made it rise faster or collapse sooner? Could it have helped us understand lost languages? What about the Renaissance, the Industrial Revolution? I mean, even prehistoric times. It's mind-blowing.
It really is.
This whole deep dive has made me think about AI in a whole new way. It's not just about fancy gadgets and self-driving cars. It's about how we decide to use it, how it impacts our lives, our societies, how we understand the world around us. So to everyone listening, we're throwing that question out to you. What era would have been most transformed by AI? We want to hear your thoughts. Keep exploring these possibilities.
And remember, just like the Egyptians believed in shaping their world according to Ma'at, we have a responsibility to shape AI in a way that fits our values, our hopes for the future. The choices we make today will determine whether AI helps us be more human or less.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's a great place to wrap things up. Thanks for coming along on this journey through time, technology, and all the mysteries of ancient Egypt. Until next time, keep diving deep.